Hello, beautiful souls. All right, so it is a dreary day in the Pacific Northwest today. It is foggy and rainy and super low clouds. So, anyway, I just thought I would make a quick video. Um, I have been, I've been in this very interesting place of doing a whole bunch of releasing. And I didn't really talk about it in my last video, so I thought I would take a moment. So I kind of said a little bit about being sick over really almost the last 2 months, and forced me to go really far inside of myself and to notice all of the different things that were coming up regarding past relationships. Whether it be mainly for me, it was revolving around my ex-husband, but also just other romantic relationships that I have engaged in. And I was able to see much more clearly than ever before the commonalities, the wounding within me that was calling in these things that, was never really going to work, because it was being attracted into my life from a place of, I would say, unworthiness, or a belief in being disempowered. And so, what's funny is that I went through this whole thing of forgiveness, totally dropped in one day that I needed to kind of do a review of sorts and reevaluate all of these romantic relationships. And so in the doing of that, I found myself in a place of examining, in a very general and specific way with each one, everything that happened. I found myself forgiving them for whatever I perceived as the wrongdoings. And then I also, at the same time, forgave myself in that, for what I had done in that moment, or mainly what I had perceived. What's weird is that in doing this, a lot of it was all illusion, which is interesting, right? Because how we perceive things creates our reality, even if it's like there's hardly any basis in what is real. So our perception is so important. So went through, did that, the forgiveness for them, forgiveness for myself, then sent love out. I actually found myself in this place of gratitude and saying, hey, wow, this was amazing. This and this and this and this and this. And thank you for helping me learn this about myself. And, what I found myself doing was realizing that I still hold a lot of love for all of these people that have come through my life. And even if they're not in it right now, and even if they are, it doesn't matter. I mean, I can decide what kind of relationship I want with these people. I can still love them no matter what. And so that's what I found myself doing, is sending them love. And I went through each and every one of them. And by the end of it, I was like astonished at the lightness of heart that I felt after that. I've been carrying a lot of heaviness having to do with all of this. What's weird is that the perceived wrongdoings on their part, that I perceive, correct, and the perceived wrongdoings on my own self, the judgment, both of those things are extremely heavy, and we don't have to carry them. It's like I tell my kids, right? When we learn something, It's not a mistake, really. We can move forward in a different way with more information, more data, more discernment. And so that's how I see it. So this last couple months has been a lot of that for me. And I find myself still doing that. Not done yet. But I can tell that it has shifted a lot for me just in that single thing. But I will also say that it's taken me a lot of healing to get to the point of shifting all of the experiences to find the blessing in them. And to be able to be in a place of love, no matter what they did to me. But to see how what they did has shaped me now because I've done the work. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. I hope you guys are going through something really similar. I do feel a collective purging of a very similar nature. It might not be exactly the same, but the amount of programming that is being revealed is astonishing. You know, I'm going to share this about one of my kids. So one of my kids, he's trying to figure out what he wants to do in his life. And, he started off doing something that somebody else wanted him to do and didn't stand up for the thing that he was really called to do. So now he's come to this crossroads, what do you call it, right? Where it's like, I can't do it. It's not for me. It's not mine. It wasn't my choice. And so I have told him, I'm like, you know what? Whatever it is, this next thing, it needs to be for you. I'm like, you need to be passionate about whatever it is. And I have been very reluctant, besides offering a few little bits of advice, for telling him what to do. Because he's really great at pleasing everybody else. And I tried to explain to him that with something like this, who cares what anybody else thinks? And so we went through a couple things. We got to, to the passion part. And then, we look at all the aspects of it. A lot of us are doing that. But it was interesting to see because he had told me he wanted to do this job. He was looking into being an ultrasound technician. And I'm like, wow, that's really cool. He seemed pretty excited. And I'm like, wow, yeah, let's check it out. Let's check out, what kind of schooling do you need? All that, where are the jobs? You guys get it. All the basic stuff that a mom would do. Well, that's what I'm doing. And he's been hot on that for a while. And then today he was sitting here with me and we were talking and it dropped in on me that was not really what he was passionate about. He had decided somewhere in his mind that was something he could settle on, that everybody else in his life would think was a great idea. And so I told him that. I said, oh my God, you don't even want to do this really. And he looked at me really shocked at first. And then he's like, oh my gosh. So this programming of this people-pleasing crapola, that's what I told him it was. We are undoing it, and it is coming up to be seen. So get rid of it. There is, like I told him today, there is no fulfillment, no soul fulfillment from living a life that somebody else picks for you. Even if it's a good idea, right? And I will say a lot of parents are vicariously living through their children, projecting all kinds of wounding, all kinds of insecurity, all kinds of hopes and dreams onto their children, and not saying, hey, kid, what is it that lights you up? And let's figure it out from there. So that's what I've been doing. What have you been doing? Right? I will say it's pretty cool when the things in my gifting work out in my own life with my family and my kids. I get overwhelmed with like this gratitude. It's awesome. So I just wanted to share some of that. Releasing, programming. Now it's time to pay attention. Pay attention to what is motivating you. Are you being motivated by external expectations, societal expectations? If so, it's time to take a look, because honestly, there is no soul fulfillment there. I love you guys. Bye.